Davin Sujiman BN, your freelance news reader. Top story number 1. Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Center. TSMC. Taiwan is a global leader in the manufacturing of semiconductor chips, the tiny but critical components in objects such as computers and cars, producing more than 60% of the world's semiconductor overall. The argument for Taiwan's silicon shield theory then is two-pronged. One, that it would increase the likelihood of the US and allies come into Taiwan's aid in the event of war to prevent a disruption in the supply chain. And two, that China's own reliance on Taiwan's advanced chips would dissuade it from invading the island. Back in Taiwan, however, the company's expanding international footprint has caused unease. Concern centered on such moves weakening the island's so-called silicon shield. The idea that Taiwan's unrivaled strength in semiconductor production can protect it against an attack from China, which claims sovereignty over the island. If countries no longer rely on Taiwan advanced chip, isn't it worrying that our protection will disappear? But even with TSMC global expansion plans, this part of the shield still holds. Taiwan's intricately connected semiconductor ecosystem, which was built over decades, is not easily replicated. The island's dominance in the sector extends to the technical prowess and efficiency among its chips engineers, which means it is not a simple matter of plonking a factory wherever one wishes. When push comes to shove, the silicon shield will not be the key thing that aids Taiwan, but it does provide a political impetus for countries invested in semiconductor supply chain to give a pause and take a good hard look at Taiwan, in which they will have increased economic and strategic stake. Top story number 2. Fitness and exercise. When I was in junior college, the canoeing club had annual rowing challenge fundraising for charity. The event t-shirt come with slogan, when the muscle fail, the minds take over. When it comes to exercise and millennials, there are usually two ends of the extreme, the maniacally fit and those who are despondent and screen glued, with the rest of us scattered in between. A race of marathon operates in the realm of imagination. To some, physical and mental fatigue is the point where one pushes their minds and bodies to the extremes. Marathons serve as a resolute act of self-determination, embodying tenacity and self-mastery over one's mind and body. While aspirational, committing to such lifestyle extreme might not be everyone's cup of tea. Obesity rates have swelled in Singapore in the past decade, from 8.6% in 2013 to 11.6% in the period of 2021. Different things work for different people, so experiment and find the type of exercise and routine that work best for you. Some examples include taking the stairs instead of the lift at work, alighting at a bus stop earlier and walk to your destination, cycling to meet a friend living in the same neighborhood instead of taking public transport. Top story number 3. Emotion. A lot of people are estranged from their own inner lives because they don't know how their emotions function. I look at all the sadness and meanness in the world and conclude that we are just not good at building healthy emotional connection. Modern neuroscientists demonstrated that emotions cleverly assign value to things, and without knowing what's important, what's good or bad, the brain just spins its wheel. Emotion and reason are one system integral to good decision making. In other words, emotions slant the mind in one direction and another depending on the circumstances, such as happiness makes people more creative, more flexible in their thinking. Disgust primes us to reject immoral behavior. Fear helps us amplify our sense and focus attention. Anxiety puts us in a pessimistic state of mind, less likely to take chance. Sadness improves memory, make more accurate judgment, make us clearer communicators and more attentive to fairness. My core point here is that you need to be a great emotional athlete in order to make the great decision in life. When people get fired from a job, it's rarely because they lack technical abilities. It's almost always because they are uncoachable, they have anger issues, or they are bad teammates. In other words, they lack the emotional skill often undetected in the hiring process. Some people are just better emotional athletes than others, yet I'm not sure we know how to evaluate this skill or that we are good at teaching them. Top story number 4. Japan Prime Minister resigned. Japan has different leader every year between 2006 and 2012. That is bad news, coming at a time when Japan is faced with massive challenges that require focused attention and policy continuity. Conditions are not likely to be forthcoming when the leaders come and go at rapid clip. Prime Minister Fumio Kishida has served 34 plus months. The late Abe was settling in for the longest premiership in Japanese history, nearly 8 years from 2012 to 2020. When Mr. Abe stepped aside in September 2020, Mr. Yoshihide Suga took the reins for just 12 months. Junichiro Koizumi stayed in the job for 5 years from 2001 to 2006. I suspect whoever wins the lead the LDP to significant loss in 2025 election and thus unlikely to have a long tenure. In Change Offers Japan, 12 months is impossibly short time for leaders to make their mark. Top story number 5. Chinese language. When toddlers and preschoolers are immersed in a Mandarin-speaking environment, such as preschool with strong emphasis on Mandarin, their brains quickly adapt to the linguistic input even if they are not exposed to it at home. This is related to a concept called neuroplasticity. Young children's brains are highly plastic, means they are especially adaptable and capable of forming new neural connections in response to environmental stimuli, including language exposure. Much of their language acquisition occurs implicitly without conscious effort. This makes them natural language learners. However, he adds, it is important to note that learning multiple languages is not just about initial acquisition but also maintaining proficiency over time. Without regular practice and exposure, a child might lose proficiency in one or more of the language he or she has learned, especially in vocabulary. Darwin Sugiman BN, sign off, your freelance news reader.